Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing that tier list thing for 3x3s. I see a lot of people doing these and it's a lot of fun. We have 5 cubers in our office at least, and so we thought it'd be fun to make our own personal tier lists for these cubes. So it's gonna work like this. We have a group of cubes. You'll see them maybe on the screen right here. Each person will be making their own tier list based on their personal opinion of whether they like the cube or not, and how good the cube is for them. At the end, we're going to play a game where each person looks at all the tier lists and tries to guess who made which one. We'll be using information that we know about the person. You know, we've been working together for a long time to try to make our guesses. So hopefully this is fun, and hopefully this can give you some idea of which cubes we like and which cubes we don't. Let's get started. Okay, so let's get started. The Guhong V4 is the first one. Probably make that a C tier cube or a D tier cube. I don't mind it. It's just, it breaks a lot and it's really frustrating to deal with. I might change it later depending on what else happens. So the Tangyun has unique value. I mained it for a while. It's really quiet and it's nice, but it's not exceptional. So I would give it an A. Gan 12 Maglev, obviously a very good cube, except it's a little expensive and that affects my opinion of it. It's between an A and a B for me. MGC Evo, not crazy about it, but it does have a really unique feel. I don't get that many good times on it, so it's either a B or a C, so I'm gonna put it B and we'll see where it goes at the end. MS3L, I don't get good times at all. In fact, I don't really like the cube very much, so I'll put it at C tier. RSTM 2020, that's an S tier for me. It's a good cube and it has so many different versions that you can really customize it. So I'm gonna put that up here. Worm 2019, I'm gonna put it at an A tier. It's really good. A lot of people like it. It's a little old because it's 2022 now. Worm 2021, also an A tier. Gan 11M Pro, I'm gonna put it on the S tier. I get fairly good times with it. It's been getting a lot of world records and I think it deserves more attention. Tornado V2, I love the Tornado V2. I think it appeals not only to me, but a lot of other people. So I'm gonna put it up here. Peak Cube, I'm gonna make that a D tier. For the asking price, it's not very impressive. YLM V2, it's a nice budget cube. Put it here. Solar S3M, not a fan. The Meilong, I assume this is the magnetic one, so I'm going to put that at like the B tier. So this is what my tier list looks like, I guess. These make sense. These make sense. Okay. All right. So yeah, this all makes sense. Very nice. So I'm going to save this. Hey guys, this is Phil here to remind you to like and subscribe. Don't forget to click the notification bell to be reminded when we upload. We also stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on Twitch, so come hang out anytime. Now let's get back to the video.
Alright, hey guys, it's Jesse. Let's go ahead and do this tier list. I'm excited to get into this. So first up we have the Guhong V4. So this isn't a terrible cube. It actually kind of feels a lot like the old Guhongs, just with a more like modern magnetic feel, and it feels a lot more stable. The problem with it though is that I've heard it tends to break, and looking at it I can see why. Like the corner bases are really thin. It just kind of performs average. There's nothing really that stands out about it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it in C tier. The Tangyun V1. I didn't really use it much after I reviewed it, but I know that like tons of people have used it and competed with it over the years, and it's kind of like become a favorite. This list is totally subjective though, and it's just my opinion. So for me, it's a good cube, but I don't think it really compares to the cubes that are out now. I think it's definitely better than the Guhong V4 though. I think I'll put it in B tier. Okay, next up we have the Dianxing Solar. I really don't like this cube. It's kind of locky and slow. It's not really that good. I'm gonna probably just go F tier with this one. I don't really like it. All right, next up, Gan 11M Pro. This one is awesome. I love the Gan 11. It has some of the best turning on any 3x3 I've ever used. This is still a cube I love using, and I would probably still consider it like a main or one of my mains. So I'm gonna put this in S tier. All right, next up we have the Gan 12. Gan 12 is also really solid. I haven't had a chance to cube with this as much because it's still pretty new, and I don't actually have one of my own. I just cube on the ones that kind of float around the office here, but it is really good. I don't think it's quite as good as the Gan 11. It's still actually a really good cube. I'm gonna go ahead and put it A tier. All right, next up we have the Meilong M. It's a budget cube, so it's hard to be like super critical of it, but there are other budget cubes that are like a lot better than this one. This one feels a lot like kind of a beginner speed cube. It's really not that good. I'm gonna go F tier with this one as well. MGC Evo, it's all right, but it's not that great. It has a pretty weird feel, and the pieces are like so frosted that it's like impossible for that frosted feel to ever wear out and go away, which just makes the cube kind of have a bad grip. Yeah, I'm gonna go D tier on the MGC Evo. Next up, we have the MS3L. Again, not really a big fan of this one either. It feels kind of unstable, it's locky, it doesn't have a nice feel. There's nothing about it that really stands out. The tensioning system is like really convoluted and confusing. Yeah, I'm gonna go D tier with this one as well. Next up, we have the PCube. Another one that I also don't really like that much. The cube itself actually performs okay, but the adjustment system and how you have to like switch the caps out if you want different feels, completely unnecessary. I don't think it really improves the cube at all, but if we're just going off of like the base cube performance itself, it's actually not too bad. We're gonna go C tier with this one. All right, next up we have the RS3M 2020, one of my favorite cubes. This is like a legendary cube. It's $9, but it's like better than so many flagship cubes out there. It's also very upgradable, as we've shown many times on the channel recently. Specifically the 2020 version, I think I do prefer over the maglev version. I don't think maglev is really necessary for the RS3M. I'm gonna put this in S tier. All right, next up we have the Worm 2019, the original Worm. This one is also amazing. I love the Worm. This was my main for quite a long time. Definitely a really solid cube. I think I'm gonna go A tier. All right, next up we have the WRM 2021. Really solid. I don't think it's as good as the original Worm. It feels a bit more locky. It's not quite as consistent of a cube. Still solid though, still a MoU flagship, and still pretty good. I'm gonna go B tier on this one. This tier list is looking really even right now, so I guess we'll see where these last two end up. All right, Tornado V2. Again, another really solid cube, a massive improvement over the original Tornado. One of the best cubes out today, definitely. So I'm gonna go A tier for the Tornado V2. And finally, we have the YLM V2. It's pretty much the same price as the RS3M. It's pretty good. It's not quite as good as the RS3M, but it is solid. I'm gonna go B tier with the YLM. All right, that's my tier list. Yeah, I think this looks good. I'm pretty interested to see what everyone else comes up with. I don't know if I'll be able to guess. I guess we'll see.
All right, what's up guys? Damian here, of course. So we're doing this tier list. Okay, so I guess we'll just start here on the Guhong V4 and work our way down. I remember this puzzle. It's a bit small. Performance was pretty good. I'll just say C for now, kind of establish a baseline. The Tangyun, the classic Tangyun, is a legendary puzzle. It's got a feel unlike any other. It's at least an A. I'm tempted to put it near S, but there's probably more that I'll have near S. The Solar S3M. If you guys have tried this puzzle, you know it's kind of lackluster. It got some good reviews, but I'm not really a fan. I'm just gonna put that in the F. GAN 11M Pro, S tier. It holds the world record. It's the fastest cube on the planet. Gotta say that's S tier cube. GAN 12 maglev, S tier or A tier. For performance, I would say it's S tier, but the price might bring it down to A tier. If this is an overall rating, I'll probably have to put that at A. Even though it is my main, I really do like the GAN 12. I realize it's not within everyone's reach, which makes it unfortunate. The Meilong. This opens up cubing to a lot of people actually. Even though it's not the best performing puzzle on the list, it's not an F. MGC Evo, recent cube, good performance. It was kind of a sketchy release. I got like a defective version, I think. So we'll put it with the Guhong V4. The MS3L, this is the corner base magnet puzzle. Not a big fan of this cube. I'll put it at D. PCube S3R. I actually just tried this cube for the first time today, and I really like it. It's not, you know, S tier, but definitely a good cube. Maybe some work on the marketing, but a good cube. RS3 2020, easy S tier, maybe even above the GAN 11. It's my favorite cube. I love that puzzle. WRM 2019, A, at least an A. It's a little dated, that's why it's not an S. The Worm 2021, the maglev version, I absolutely love that cube. So I'll put that at S tier. Tornado V2, I'd say some of my coworkers put that at S tier. I know a few of them main it, but it's not for me. It is a good cube though, I'll put it at A. And then the Yushin Little Magic V2, is it better than the Guhong? Probably not. So I'll put it there. So I think we're good. I think that's my tier list. Let me know what you think. And yeah, we'll compare it with my coworkers and see what type of tier list we came up with. So See you guys. Thanks for watching.
Hey, it's Jules. I'm gonna go ahead and be doing my tier list. We're gonna go ahead and start off with the worst ones because that's what is most apparent to me in this list. So for me personally, the most disappointing cubes of this year has been really just this one, maybe even this one. Those two cubes were, I would say, had promise, but when you felt them, they were kind of like, not so good. Next disappointing cube out of all of these would probably be these two. Absolutely disappointing. I don't know. I was maybe expecting a little bit too much out of them. This one, actually, I'm gonna go ahead and put here as well, strictly because there was the whole plastic breaking issue. The cube itself is fantastic, but there is the issue of longevity, its life, and I'm a big fan of everything else here, maybe except this guy. This guy's pretty disappointing as well. Listen, I'm like a huge Moyu fan, so I'm gonna go ahead and fill in the S. I think the 2021 is really awesome. The RS3 is god tier. And then the Meilong is gonna go ahead and have an A for me. Even though it's like on the cheaper side of things, it was fantastic for me. And I was using it as a main before I switched over to the Maglev WRM. So go ahead and put that up there. 2019 was also really awesome, but it wasn't the one that I enjoyed out of all of them. I would probably prefer the Meilong over it. I would put the Damian here. I enjoy the cube. It's just, to me, it's just not really that good either. Let's see, Tornado would probably go up here. So I was actually using a Tornado V2 for a little bit as a main. I really enjoy its features, its ease of usability. And then with the introduction of the Cuber's home version and the core magnets, it was absolutely fantastic. And lastly is these guys. I really do not really enjoy the Maglev, and I would actually rate this guy above the Maglev. The Maglev to me is too unstable, it's a little bit too fast. As much as you want to, lube it so it's really slow and gummy, it's still like way too fast, way too light. There's no substance to it, and it's just, to me, it feels floppy. So that's why I would probably rate the 11 on top of that, because same thing, but at least it has springs and has a decent amount of feedback. Yeah, I think that's gonna be my tier list, and hopefully they don't catch on too quickly.
Okay, so here's my tier list. I've never done one of these before. I guess I'll just start with the cube that I like the most. Obviously, Worm 2019. It'll always be my favorite cube ever. It'll always be my main for multi. I love the Worm 2019. Perfect cube. Let me pick my least favorite cube. So I have a baseline. MS3L, I'm not a fan of. MGC Evo seemed like they tried too hard. I'm not a huge fan of it. Oh no, Solar. Yeah, not a fan of Solar. I think I only tried it once, but yeah, I wasn't a fan of how it came out. Well, I guess I'll fill in from there. Tornado V2, also, I love that cube. I'm not sure yet if it even belongs in the same tier as the Worm 2019, though I do prefer it for speed solving. Let's put it here for now. I'm really happy that X-Man Design came out with a good 3x3. It's been a while. Let's put the Evo there, along with MS3L and P-Cube, because these are all cubes that, they're okay. They're just, I don't know, I don't really understand what the P-Cube's all about. All three of these cubes feel kind of the same to me. So I'm just gonna leave them there for now. Going V4, let's put that as a C. Diane's been making kind of a comeback lately. And while I don't think it's the greatest cube in the world, I think it's really good for Diane, so leave it there. Tangyun, let's do the same thing. Tangyun was probably their first really good 3x3 in recent history. I'm just not a fan of them because like, and this is a little biased, but out of the package, the lube is like all over the place. So in the pro shop, it bothers me. RCM 2020 is a good cube. Let's put that in A. It's cheap, performs really well for its price range, and you can do a bunch of modifications to it. So really good cube. Worm 2021, let's say same thing. Let's say A. I definitely don't like it as much as the 2019. But it's a great cube. Gain 11 and Pro. I'm gonna put it in B. It is a really good cube. I mean, it's a world record cube now, thanks to Timo. Originally, its price is a little too much, but now that the price has actually decreased, it's even better. So you know what? That might even belong in A. I don't know, because the Gan 12, I can't put it with the Diane cubes. It's a really great cube. It's just a little too pricey. So let's put it in B. I think it performs better than the Gan 11. I might have to change that, but let's see. Meilong, I mean, let's put that in C. I'm putting it above the MC Evo and MS3L and stuff because it's cheaper. It doesn't perform as well as them, but for its price, it's really good. So, Yushin Little Magic, V2M. It's a pretty decent cube. I wouldn't say it's better than the original Yushin Little Magic. Yeah, let's put it with the other budget cube, the Meilong. So let's see if this is final. Let's see if I make any changes. You know what? I definitely love the Tornado V2 more than the other three in here. Yeah, you know what? They're both my mains, so I'll leave them in the same tier, in the S tier. These three are really good. Gan 12 by itself, I think that's fair. Yeah, I think this is good. Yeah, I'll leave it there.
All right, so for the next part of this video, we're going to be looking at each tier list individually, and everyone's gonna take a guess as to who made what. So I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna see if I know my coworkers well and their preference for cubes. We have 5 different people, so 5 different tier lists. I'm gonna try to find my own first. Okay, so I found my own, so I'm just gonna say this is mine. I know that 100%. All right, so let's take a look at this first one. The first one has a strong difference to the Worm 2021. The Peak Cube is kind of high up there, along with the Tangyun. So this one's the same thing as what I picked, except the Tornado is down here. They really didn't like the Meilong. That's really weird. This one, I think it's the, oh shoot. I was gonna say, like, if there was one with only one Tornado at the top, I would guess it's Rowe, but there's 2 of them with the Tornado V2. I can't just immediately say that it's Rowe. I think D is Rowe because of the WRM 2019 and the Tornado V2, and he ranks GAN higher. The one that ranks GAN lower, but with the similar taste here, is probably Jules. Because I know Jules doesn't like GAN cubes. So that leaves Jesse and Damian. So like, I know Damian has a little more like respect for the Tangyun than Jesse does. So I'm gonna say this is Damian and this is Jesse. Let me see if I got this right. This first one should be Damian, and that's correct. Okay, second one, Jesse, that's correct. Jules, third, is correct. Rowe, fourth, correct, and myself. So yeah, I got them right.
All right, so I'm back to guess whose tier list is who. I have a feeling that I'm gonna be bad at this, but I guess we'll see. All right, so we gotta find mine first. That one's mine. So let's start with the first one here. We have the Solar in F tier, which is expected. I agree with that. RS3M, GAN 11, and Worm in S tier. Peak Cube in B tier. That's kind of surprising. I don't know. This is gonna be hard. I feel like I want to look at the rest of them first, and then maybe process of elimination. I'm determined to get these right, but my confidence level is very low. So looking at the third one here, this one has the Tornado V2 in S tier, and I know Phil mains the Tornado V2. Could be Phil, but then this one also has Tornado in S tier. And this one also has Tornado in S tier. So that doesn't help me at all. See, the problem is I'm the one who's worked here the least. So I know the least about everyone's preferences. Wait. Okay, I do know one thing. I know that Jules really doesn't like GAN cubes. I think this one, C, has to be Jules because the GAN cubes are not in A or S. I'm fairly confident about that one. There's one here that has no cubes in F tier. Maybe that one's Phil. He can be pretty optimistic. A is, wait. Does he like the Worm 2021? Oh, I don't know. Okay, I'm just gonna guess. I've been doing this for too long already. I'm gonna say A is Damian. I'm gonna say D is Rowe, and E is Phil. Okay. How did I do?
Can you scroll up?
Yeah.
You got them all right.
All right?
Yeah.
Let's go! Let's go. Okay.
All right, so now we're going to go through all these tier lists that everybody made and see if I can match the particular tier list with the Cuber. So let's take a look here. We've got A. Yeah, I know that one because it's me. Pretty sure that's me. That'd be embarrassing if it wasn't. Now we've got B. Tornado V2 is not S tier. That gives me a hint. So I would say B is either Jesse or Jules. My first instinct was Jules, so I'll put that there as a placeholder for now. And we've got C. Anything stands out here? Worm 2021 at the top. The Meilong is A. So that makes me think that's Jules, actually. I'm still tentative on B being Jules. Solar S3 being F tier. I'm gonna say D is Phil. Let's see, no F tier cubes. There's nobody that optimistic that I work with. Let me think. Who could that be? So we've got Jesse and Rowe left. I'm sure I'm gonna mess this up. I'm gonna exchange Phil from D to C because the peak cube's down there at F. And say, I don't really know. I don't think Jesse's that optimistic, but A through E with Damian, Jules, Phil, Rowe, and Jesse.
Okay, let's take a look.
All right.
All right, so if you scroll up, the first one is correct. That's
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
The second one is actually Jesse.
Okay.
The third one is Jules.
I even said I wanted to change that because the Meilong was
I know,
up high, and then I
know.
didn't, and then I made it you.
He also ranked GAN cubes very low.
Yeah.
That's just him.
Yeah.
The fourth one is Rowe,
Okay.
and the fifth one is me.
Okay, so I messed up you,
Yeah.
Jesse, and Jules.
Alrighty, so let's do this and see what kind of fun things we can uncover from each one of the people depending on their tier list. I have no idea who's this first one. It looks pretty well spread out, but judging from the S selection, I will probably say that one's Phil, but I don't know right now. Alright, so I already know this one's me. I'm pretty sure this was me. Yeah, so I'm putting me down. I only know one person that really 100% loves the 2019 and the Tornado at the same time. So that's probably Rowe. And then RS3, GAN 11, and Tornado V2. That one's a little bit tough. I'm gonna say B is Damian. I think the first one is Phil. And by default, that one is Jesse. A once over again. So the first one, Phil, Damian, me, Rowe, and then Jesse.
Okay, so that's actually Damian.
Dang.
The second one is Jesse.
Oh wow, I'm so wrong. Okay, cool.
Right. Yeah, and the third one is yourself.
Oh,
Which
okay,
you're fine,
cool,
you
cool.
got that one.
I got one.
And then the fourth one is Rowe.
Yes, I
your
got
reasoning
two.
for that was really sound. Pretty. And the fifth one is me.
Oh, okay. I see. You just didn't want to give anyone an F rating.
No. I mean, I think F ratings are like complete failures, and
You
the cubes
think?
are
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like all of these cubes at least function, right?
Yeah.
Okay, the first tier list, RS3M 2020, GAN 11, Worm 2021. I'm trying to think who likes a Worm 2021 that much in the office. Peak Cube is B, that's surprising. I might pass on this one, so I'll come back to that. You know what, I'm just gonna skip to mine first. Put that in, so that's me. This one looks like Phil. I'm gonna say this is Phil. Yeah, because solar at the end, because, you know, space names are meh. Which one would be Damian though? Damian, I don't think he likes the Tornado V2, so I don't think he'd be E. First of all, did anyone put GAN 12 in S? No. So I'm gonna say this one's Damian. I'm gonna say B is Damian. Because I know he's mained all those top ones except for the Tornado. So I'm missing Jules and Jesse I probably don't know much about. Jules, who knows what Jules likes, honestly. Alright, I'm gonna say this is Jules, C is Jules, and E is Jesse. Alright, how bad did I do?
I was A.
Yeah, Damian was A.
Damn.
And then the second one was Jesse.
Wow.
The third one was Jules.
Okay, I got that one.
Yeah,
Right.
the fourth one was yourself.
I
And
got
the
that.
fifth one was me.
Okay, so I got two. Yeah, Jules I figured was the list that made less sense, so.
Nice. All right, so that's it for the video. That was really interesting. Apparently people couldn't believe it when I didn't put anything in the F tier, which was really funny. But it was a really cool exercise to see the thought process people used to try to figure out what their coworkers liked and didn't like about speed cubes. And of course, this is our opinion. You know, this is completely subjective, so don't hate us, please. Yeah, if you'd like to do your own tier list, feel free to check out the description. We have a link that you can use to access the exact same one that we did. And of course, these aren't all the speed cubes out there. These are just some of them that we thought would be good to evaluate and also representative of, you know, the brands that are out there right now. So yeah, hopefully you found this really fun, and we'll see you next time.